Hello everyone, my name is Salim and welcome to the Markets and Analysis for Wednesday, the 11th of October 2023. We'll be breaking down charts to show the exact zones where price will close both potential buys or close below for potential sells as well. So looking at the daily candle for Tuesday, so the daily is looking bearish, but overall price have been consolidating within the 4-hour time frame, as we can see in here. More likely now the daily will be closing weak bearish, forming weak daily resistance around 1862.500. So looking at the weekly now, obviously the weekly is still bullish. The daily is closing weak bearish. So the anticipation is to see the continuation to the upside despite having the daily closing bearish, or will be closing weak bearish to form a weak daily resistance. So now to break down the chart and drop it down to the 4-hour time frame, and what we can see here, we have the most recent 4-hour support formed around 1857.200. And the most recent 4-hour resistance formed around 1863.500. So dropping down to the hourly, we have an hourly support formed around 1855.800, and we have this hourly resistance formed around 1864.200. Looking at the 5-minute time frame as well. So now we have this range. What we could do here is, I'd say, adjust this level of support to 1854.500 based on this 1-hour support. The level of resistance remains the same, and as we can see, all of these time frames are lining up within the low time frame. So now obviously to look for potential buys and to identify the no trade zone, I'd say this is the ideal no trade zone. So potential buys could be above 1864.200 above this 1-hour resistance, and for potential sells could be below 1854.500, and this is going to be the no trade zone. And now to look for potential buys, and going back to the daily. So as mentioned, the anticipation is to see the continuation to the upside. So going back to the weekly, the first thing we can see is we have this previous weekly support formed around 1888.800. Drop it down to the daily, clean traffic on the left, dropping down to the 4-hour time frame. Within the 4-hour, we have this 4-hour resistance formed around 1874.300. Zooming in, and let's have a look on the hourly. So on the hourly time frame, what we can see, we have this previous 1-hour support formed around 1869.500. More likely we'll have this as a first target for buys. I'd say the first target for buys could potentially be 1869.500, targeting this previous 1-hour support, and the second target for buys. Now let's have a look on the daily. So we have this retracement on the daily, looking at the 4-hour time frame, and let's have a look on the left. What do we see? We have this 4-hour resistance formed around 1873.900, let's say 1874. Looking at the hourly time frame as well, this is a similar level of resistance on the hourly, and more likely will be the same on the 5-minute time frame. I'd say the second target for sells could potentially be 1874, targeting this 4-hour resistance. And now to look for potential sells, and going back to the daily. So the first thing we can see on the daily is, what we can see, we have, let's have a look. So we have this gap that we've seen at the Asian session during the market open. So what we're going to do, we're going to put a line to where this daily started actually, and the drop it down to the 4-hour time frame. And what we can see on the 4-hour, let's just go to the most recent price action, Looking at the 4-hour time frame, we have a 4-hour support formed around 1849.600. Drop it down to the hourly, we have an hourly support as well that lines up with the 4-hour time frame. And when we're looking at the 5-minute time frame, that's the same as well. So I'd say the first target for sells could potentially be 1849.800, targeting this 4-hour support. And the second target for sells, now going back to the hourly time frame, we have an hourly support formed around 1845.100. We're looking at the 5-minute time frame as well as the 15-minute time frame. We can clearly see that price is matching with those time frames. So I'd say the second target for sells could potentially be 1845.100, targeting this hourly support.
Dominion Markets, your trading sanctuary.